Merry Christmas! Hi, I'm Dave from Rapid Education, and today we're going to make the Christmas tree LED project. This is a great little project for Key Stage 3 students and can be made all in one lesson, so it's an ideal end-of-term Christmas project. Making this project will help students understand that resistance and capacitance values affect the frequency of a circuit. There are 30 kits in a class pack, and it comes in a handy Gratnos tray for easy storage. In this kit you'll find 16 2.2 volt 5mm red LEDs, 4 100 ohm quarter watt carbon film resistors, 4 100K quarter watt carbon film resistors, 2 22 microfarad electrolytic capacitors, 2 10 microfarad electrolytic capacitors, 4 BC548B TO92 NPN transistors, 1 miniature slide switch, 1 PP3 battery clip with tinned fly leads, and 1 Christmas tree PCB board. This project is also going to involve some basic soldering, so you're going to need some helping hands, a soldering iron and some solder, some side cutters, and a PP3 battery. Before you start, turn on your soldering iron to ensure that it's at the correct operating temperature when you come to soldering the components to your PCB. First, select your 100 ohm carbon film resistor and place them through the holes denoted R1 to R4 on the PCB board. On the rear of the PCB, bend the legs back against the board to ensure that the components don't fall out of the holes when it comes to soldering. Clip the PCB board onto your helping hands and carefully solder the legs into place using some solder. When you've completed this process, remove the PCB board from the helping hands and using your side cutters, remove any excess resistor leg. Next, take your remaining 100K carbon film resistors and place them through the holes denoted R5 to R8. Bend the legs back against the rear of the PCB board and solder the legs into place on the helping hands. Remove any excess material using your side cutters when you've completed this process. Now take your 22 microfarad electrolytic capacitors. The longer leg is a positive contact, or anode, and this leg needs to be placed through the holes with the positive symbol next to it. Place these two capacitors through the holes denoted C1 and C2 on the PCB board. Now, take your 10 microfarad electrolytic capacitors. The same rules apply for these capacitors as the 22 microfarad versions, only these need to be located through the holes denoted C3 and C4 on the PCB board. Bend the legs back, solder into place, and remove any excess material. Now take your transistors. Notice that the component has a curved edge and a flat edge. Gently separate one of the outer legs away from the other two legs a fraction, and then carefully bend the middle leg back towards the curved edge of the body. You'll notice that the diagram for these components on the PCB also have a curved edge and a flat edge. Place the 4 transistors through the holes denoted T1 to T4, making sure that the flat edge of the transistor matches up with the flat edge of the diagram on the PCB. Bend the legs back on the rear of the PCB, solder into place, and remove any excess material. Now select your miniature slide switch. Place this component through the holes denoted for it on the PCB, making sure that the slide switch faces away from the body of the PCB. Bend back 2 of the legs to make sure that it doesn't fall out when soldering, and solder into place. Again, remove any excess leg material from the rear of the PCB. Now it's time to solder in your 16 red LEDs. Again, you'll notice that the LED has a longer leg, or anode, and a shorter leg, or cathode. If you look very closely, you'll also notice that the body of the LED has a flat side on the side of the cathode. Locate the LED into the PCB, making sure that the flat side of the component matches up with the flat side of the diagram. Solder into place and remove any excess material. Finally, select your PP3 clip with tinned fly leads and thread the red lead through the larger holes next to the positive and negative symbols on the PCB board, but from the underside of the PCB. Push the tinned end of the wire through the smaller hole with the positive symbol next to it so that it pokes through the underside of the board again. Bend the wire back to keep it where it is and solder into place. Repeat this process for the negative black wire. When you finish this step, you've completed the soldering process. Ensure you turn off your soldering iron and store it in a safe place until it's completely cooled down. Once you've finished your soldering, plug your PP3 battery into your PP3 battery clip and switch on your project using the miniature slide switch at the bottom. The Christmas tree circuit is controlled by 2 bistable oscillators linked together. The rate of which the LEDs flash is controlled by the value of the capacitor and the charging resistor. If you increase the value of the capacitor, then the rate at which the LEDs flash slows down, and if you decrease the value of the capacitor, the rate speeds up. If you'd like more information on this project, then please just click on the link below this video. And if you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can view all the videos in this series. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.